Bruce McGuire here, and you're listening to another edition of the MindShock podcast, and we're going to be getting into the Bitcoin phenomenon and possibly some aspects of it that haven't been discussed in the mainstream media yet.
Whether or not you can spend it at 7-Eleven on Big Gulp. This is Brooke Davis, by the way.
And this is Maxwell Powers.
So, for those that don't know, Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, and for those who don't know what that is, it's basically a digital currency that's created based on an algorithm. And in Bitcoin's case, there's a whole bunch of cryptocurrencies. There's probably like thousands of them now. Most of them are unknown with no value.
It's like a cryptozoologist. Sorry. Like a chupacabra.
But the big ones are like Litecoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin. Like there's a Zcash, and but basically Bitcoin is king of the mountain, or it's been king of the mountain, and had that big explosion.
It started it all. Yeah.
Went up to like 20 grand, and it was worth $20 in 2008 or whenever it first came out, and people were making jokes about it. Can I pay you in Bitcoin? Everyone said no. I'm sure they're kicking themselves now. But yeah, so the way it works is people mine Bitcoin. So people making money, you get mining machines and you can mine it and make all the calculations for all the transactions. And when it started, there weren't that many Bitcoin, and the more Bitcoin that are mined, the increase in difficulty to mine it happens. So it takes longer to make more Bitcoin. And I think the last Bitcoin's going to be mined in 2040,
2150, 40 or something.
All right, hold on. We have to take a step back because, I don't know anything about Bitcoin, so I'm gonna lead all the questions.
Okay.
Questions. So, wait. It almost seems to me like it's a play virtual reality monetary system. Is it is it Monopoly Cash?
Okay, kind of. So, let's make a parallel to real money, to the fiat currency of the slaves. So if we're in America right now, and where the U.S. dollar has decreased in value thousands of a percent, you used to be able to buy a house for like $5,000 80 years ago, or 90 years ago, but now it's worth a lot less because it's no longer backed by gold. So when the money's not backed by anything, they can just print an infinite amount and it'll always decrease in value. And whether they're doing that on purpose or not is a topic for a different podcast.
Okay, but if I take my money to 7-Eleven, I can buy a super big gulp. And
yes, and because of the perceived value from the person who you're purchasing it from.
Okay, so, but if you owe me money and you pay me in Bitcoin, how can I spend it?
Okay, so the way you use Bitcoin is you need a Bitcoin wallet. So you can download a Bitcoin wallet to your phone or whatever. You can have it linked to an exchange where you can move it back, and it basically the same as if you want to you go to Canada, you need to switch to Canadian currency. You go to a bank or whatever, an exchange, and you can switch it. Or if you're trading Forex or whatever, making money, going back and forth with different currencies, it's a similar concept.
Or like a credit card.
Not really.
Because a credit card has to have money behind it, right?
But then you got to pay it back, so not exactly. Bitcoin is actual money. So if you go to Canada and you give them $1 and you want Canadian, you get the exchange rate, so then you have a Canadian dollar. Then if you want to go back to US, you can do that. But it's still real. It's still real. Cryptocurrency is like digital currency. It's only real digitally. But let's say you don't want the reason it's very popular, especially with criminals, is because it has nothing to do with governments. The governments can't control it. And Maxwell will get more on this because he's an anarchist. So he really believes in Bitcoin.
But again, I'm having trouble. All right, so if I have a bank account and my bank account has X amount of money on it, isn't that synonymous with a Bitcoin wallet that has X amount of money on it? And so then if I go to use my credit card, I have to have the money in my bank account to back it.
It's
if I go to use Bitcoin, I have to have Bitcoin to back it.
It's kind of more like a bank-to-bank transfer. So if you want to transfer money from your bank account to somebody else's in U.S., you do that, right? You go to the bank, you could do a wire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so with Bitcoin, if let's say you want to buy Maxwell's really cool stove,
okay,
and he'll accept Bitcoin. So you guys both have Bitcoin. So you send him however much he wants, 0.01 for the Bitcoin, however much that translates, whatever you agree the value is.
Yeah.
You send him the Bitcoin, and he receives the Bitcoin. Now he has a small amount of Bitcoin. He has the Bitcoin you sent him. So that money is gone from your wallet, and it's added to his wallet.
But can I do that with my credit card? And he has like the
He
credit
has
card
to
swipe
accept
thing.
credit cards.
yeah,
The
But
example I'm giving, like if you both had PayPal, it'd be more like that.
Yeah.
So it's going from your PayPal account to his PayPal account. There's no credit card you have to pay back.
Yeah, but I have to have the Bitcoin in my wallet
Right,
to
correct.
pay for it anyway.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
so it is kind of the same because if I don't have the money in my bank account,
But you
if
can
I
still
don't have
use
the
a credit card. But you can still use a credit card. It's like the bank account example, not the.
If I don't
card
have
example.
overdraft, they won't let me.
A debit card.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, not a credit. Yeah, debit card. Debit card. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yep.
So it's basically circumventing government or oversight, and that's why some people don't like it.
Okay.
And the main idea behind it, so instead of gold backing it, it's backed by mathematical algorithms and so everybody that has the full wallet, there's a record of every single Bitcoin transaction that can be verified by everybody. There's no scamming going on. Like that's the idea behind it. So it's secure.
They call it a ledger.
Yeah.
It's just a ledger that everyone can access.
Yeah.
So.
Whereas with banks or credit card companies that cheat you, they can say this, say that, and then not give you or doctor the records. With here, everybody can double check everybody.
But what gives it its initial value? How does it?
So
how
the
is it worth
limitation,
something?
the limitation of the amount of Bitcoin, kind of like when money's backed by gold, and there's only a certain amount of gold, so you can't make more money. So with Bitcoin, there's a finite amount of Bitcoin that can be mined or created.
Okay.
Which is a different market altogether with people mining Bitcoin and making money doing that. But, and the more Bitcoin that's mined, the more difficult it becomes to mine more Bitcoin. So it'll be like 2048 or whatever when the last Bitcoin is mined. Or they might be changing that date constantly, 2040, 2050, 2060s. And that's when the last Bitcoin will be mined. So
but if they're changing the date, isn't that like printing money without having gold back?
No, it's finite. It's just the machines that can mine faster are constantly coming out. So that.
Oh, all right. So it's the time limit's going to get shorter and shorter.
May
the
or
more
may
people
not,
that
or
are
it might get longer because the more Bitcoin is mined, the more difficulty becomes. So you need an even more powerful machine.
Right,
so it's kind of like self-protective.
Yeah, I got that. Okay.
To an extent.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Yeah.
That makes sense. All right. That's clear.
And so the value is kind of with the agreed parties. So,
but I still don't understand where it gets its initial value. What makes it worth anything?
So, like, if you have trading cards and you have the limited edition ones,
yes,
even though you bought them for a certain price, when there's no more, the price goes up. So, if you find somebody who really wants that card, they're going to pay you way more, or comic book trading.
But what backs my Bitcoin now? That I guess that's what I'm asking. Like, so what gives it its value now? Why is it worth something?
Because people want to use it. So, like, if somebody wants to accept it, they either want to circumvent taxes or whatever the reason is, or they're anarchists and they just don't want the government involved, or they don't want to use government money whatsoever. They would rather accept Bitcoin than U.S. government money or whatever government money. So they want the Bitcoin. That's what gives it the value. So you can buy something in Bitcoin instead of in a U.S. dollar.
Okay, but that's predicated on everybody agreeing that they're going to accept Bitcoin. So, like, if all of a sudden nobody accepts Bitcoin.
Well, already not everybody's
at first, we don't have that network effect yet, but it's becoming more popular, so everyone's getting
they have like
into it. So
Bitcoin ATMs in New York City.
But but that's like my comparison that I made when we were talking last time. Like, isn't that like the Confederate cash when they were like, oh, buy Confederate money, with your Union money, and after we win the war, you'll be rich. And then they didn't win the war.
Sort of,
and
except that Bitcoin has nothing to do with any wars or sides. So if like, for example, it's outlawed in China or whatever, first of all, they could still use it in China. They just might get arrested for it.
Yeah.
And it would still be, so even if every government on the planet outlawed it.
Okay, but what if you named off like 5 or 6 other cryptocurrencies? What if one of those replaces it? And what if
replaces what?
This is a common question. Basically, it's kind of like saying, well, McDonald's is the best. What if like Burger King or Wendy's comes up? Wouldn't that get rid of McDonald's forever?
All right, so
it's free market.
Some people,
you can compete.
It's self-regulating. There'll always be people that prefer Bitcoin. Now, Ethereum is another big up-and-coming one that a lot of people like more than Bitcoin, so they'll use Ethereum. But it's still kind of new, so some people don't know about it. A lot of the same concepts apply.
And so how do you reassure the people that this invisible currency that they don't know anything about is going to be worth their time?
Well, so far, it's many thousandths of a percent appreciated versus depreciated, like U.S. currency. So,
wasn't there a problem last week? Didn't it crash or something? Has it come back?
It went down a lot, but it's still up a whole lot from, let's say, example last year. Whereas U.S. currency is down thousands and thousands and thousands of percent due to inflation and other problems. So you're right. There's no guarantee, but it's a lot more secure than the U.S. dollar.
Well, until the United States is gone, it is. But like at least you have the United States to say, all right, they're still there. I can still get something for my dollar.
Yeah, but you can get a whole lot less now. Whereas with Bitcoin, you can get a whole lot more. So, and even if Bitcoin goes down, you can still get a whole lot more from Bitcoin now than you could.
All right. So how do you measure how do you measure Bitcoin, like what it's worth? Because I'm not understanding the.
Well, here's
so what is one Bitcoin worth?
Right now, it's like $8,000.
Yeah, $8,000.
So one full Bitcoin
1.0, yes,
is 8,000.
8,800
equivalent. Okay.
Right now.
And what was it 3 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago,
probably
it was
about the same.
Like, wasn't that at the 20 grand?
Yeah. See, so doesn't that
like a month ago?
Doesn't that make you nervous though?
Yeah.
Like a month ago, it was at 20,000.
Yeah, but a couple of years ago, it was at $20. So.
And now it's at 8.
Well, last year it was what, 800?
So then it's like the stock market. We have to draw stock market.
Well, not really, because it's going up so much. It's just going back down and evening out. Whereas, like, the market go down a lot. So, like, right now, if you go by year, look at how much it's up. Last year it was like $800 or whatever.
Well, yeah, but it's so new. I can't go by year. It's so new. I have to go monthly.
Well, I think it came out in 2008. So.
Yeah, like I said, it's so new. That means, so it's had a 10-year anniversary? Has Tesla had a 10-year anniversary yet? So we don't know what we don't know the long-term effect of the batteries on a Tesla yet. So how can we say that it's the greatest thing yet? They might all blow up in 12 years. Oh no, I'm just saying without a long-term.
What about the one in space?
Isn't that next week's podcast? What if there is no space? But anyway, all right. So I think I know a little bit more about Bitcoin than I did before, but can I use it at 7-Eleven?
No, you can't. Well, not yet.
You could use it at somewhere. Didn't Amazon? What company? Some companies started accepting it.
A lot of companies in New York. If you go to New York, you have to look at some website, like websites.
It's getting big. Bitcoin. Like even certain banks are starting to deal Bitcoin. Like that was like a couple months ago, a month or two ago. So it's getting mainstream. Maxwell will get more into the whole anarchy angle of Bitcoin as opposed to the investment, because a lot of the weird stuff with the dip, people started shorting Bitcoin and all this weird stuff. Been going on the past month.
I noticed a lot. I noticed something with the anarchists online. They stopped posting about political stuff, and they started just working Bitcoin. I see cryptocurrency as effortless anarchism. I see it as that. No, seriously, because
I can see that.
These people who are not libertarians or anarchists, and they start using Bitcoin and they start understanding money.
Yeah,
they become anarchists. I mean, it's effortless. That's why a lot of these these people who used to be passionate anarchists, like this lady. Amanda Billy Rock. She goes by by her real name now, Amanda B. Johnson, and she's really into cryptocurrencies, and she's into Dash now a lot, and she dropped a lot of her Bitcoin for Dash, so she's promoting Dash, but she never mentions anything about anarchism and she does cryptocurrencies because she kind of like she gave that analogy, instead of like approaching the fence and trying to break through it, you just use the technology to fly yourself over.
It's a silent revolution.
Yes, I just see it as that, and I love it because I don't have to get into political debates with people. I just tell them about
you don't have
Bitcoin,
to anyway.
Cryptocurrencies. Yeah, but talking about cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin, it's just you just bypass.
Well, but when I go to 7-Eleven, to buy my Super Big Gulp with my dollar, and they're talking politics, I don't have to partake. And when you go to 7-Eleven, you have to pull out the same dollar that I pull out in order to buy your drink. and you still have to either partake of the conversation or step aside. So it's hard for me to give that argument credence yet.
Which argument?
You're like, oh, I don't have to get involved with the political arguments. Like right now, I'm not going to argue with anybody about politics because they're all insane, and I don't want to have to choke somebody out. You think I'm kidding? If I'm at 7-Eleven and they get on me, they're going down. Like it's that quick.
God.
But and whether I have $1 in my pocket or a pretend Bitcoin, no one's above an ass whipping.
Oh my God.
Is that your new catchphrase?
because it's true. I mean, if a guy in a wheelchair runs over my foot and he doesn't say sorry, he might catch a mean one.
Oh my God.
What? I believe in equal rights. Sorry, but again, but let's just take a step back because I think I'm understanding Bitcoin a bit better now. People are always going to want to keep their money. And so do you have a feeling that like the anarchists who used to get in arguments about politics are now being quiet because now they're like, oh, wow, I can keep more of my money if I shut up because now I don't want to put a target on myself?
No, not necessarily that. It's just...
Because they want to keep their money.
No, because when you start learning about... When you start investing on Bitcoin... in Bitcoin, you start learning about the nature of money.
Yeah, you were supposed to learn that in school.
Yeah, but no one teaches you about the Federal Reserve and like how it got started.
Well,
in
maybe the anarchist Bitcoin practitioners weren't paying attention, or maybe they weren't in school.
I paid attention. They never told us anything.
They never said shit.
Fractional banking and all that scam of the Federal Reserve. Come on, you don't learn any of that.
Yeah, but see, that's that point right there. Like, you don't have to teach anyone about that. You just teach them about cryptocurrency. But do you get it though? Now you just gotta edit.
Yeah, because we're way too far into it. All right, but here's the thing. I think that a lot of anonymous, a lot of people would like to get into fights by being anonymous. So you have an anonymous forum, people say all kinds of stuff. But then when attention starts being paid to them, they're going to be quiet. And you don't think that your anarchists want to get Bitcoin up so that they can keep their money so they're not painting targets on their heads? Because I mean, obviously I want to keep all my money. Think about how many people go to prison for tax fraud because they're trying to keep their money. And Bitcoin is a way for all these people, or cryptocurrency is a way for all these people to keep their money without going to jail. And that's the hope.
Yep.
Because now, let me ask you a question. The powers that be are never going to let somebody take something from them that they think is theirs. So when the government starts seeing a loss, all these people who made $5 million last year making $5 this year. Do you think that they're really going to step back and say, oh, pay taxes on $5? You paid taxes on $5 million last year.
Yeah,
pay taxes on $5 this year. They're not going to do that.
I don't know the new tax code, but from what I've been told by people doing it now, is that you have to pay it on it like an investment. So basically, if whatever it was worth when you got it. So let's say it came down, you got it when it was 20 grand. You have to pay the taxes on the 20 as if it was worth 20 grand on how much you have. So you do have to pay taxes on that, but that's Bitcoin. Now I don't know, but what about Ethereum and Litecoin?
Because people are going to jump ship from Bitcoin when they have to start paying taxes on it. Because Maxwell, one of your purposes in getting into Bitcoin is because you didn't want to have to give the man your money, correct?
I just want to stop using the dollar. And if I want everyone to use Bitcoin,
why?
To eliminate taxes from my life.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So now that you're going to have to pay taxes on your Bitcoin. Are you going to want to keep Bitcoin? Because they're going to find a way to tax Bitcoin to the point where they were taxing you on your dollar. Are you still going to want to pay?
I don't know how that's going to work, and I don't really know how they're going to do that.
That's what we were just talking about.
If you keep it as Bitcoin, I believe since it's an investment, you don't have to pay tax because it's still an ongoing investment.
Right.
If you cash
If you
out,
cash out, yeah, then
then
it's
there's an
taxed.
issue. So I guess if you always keep it at Bitcoin and deal in Bitcoin, then I don't know how you would.
Yeah, but
think
Yeah,
they'd
because
say-
they can't track that.
But if
Yeah.
you always
Or-
keep it at Bitcoin, then they're going to tax you on the money that you had because or you're going to take all your money and buy Bitcoin, and then they're going to say, well, you have to pay what you paid last year, and then you're going to say, I have
yeah,
They can't
that-
do
well,
that
that's
because
why-
you
that's
put
why
your
a lot
money
of-
in an investment.
Yeah, that's
So-
why a lot of people are leaving these exchanges like Coinbase and
Yeah.
you know.
Well, they're going to do it like car insurance. Like when you register your car, if you don't register this year and you skip a year and then you go to register next year, they're going to make you pay for the year you missed just in case you were driving. So they're going to prorate it. So if you make $5 million last year, make $5 this year, they're going to say, well, we're just going to take it for granted that you made $5
I don't think.
million.
I think they would just do an audit and then
And then send you to prison.
Well, for what?
For tax
What, are you
evasion.
well, no. Are you saying that you got the only way that could happen is if you just change to getting paid in Bitcoin?
Yeah, but Mac doesn't want to pay any money.
But if, he
Maxwell
didn't make,
Powers.
but if he didn't make any money,
Yeah.
like, what are you saying? So he bought it and he just invested it. If they do an audit, since he put it into I mean,
They're
okay.
they're
He would still have to report what he made in cash, though.
Yes.
'Cause, so we're talking about that. You're saying if he, in order for what you say to happen, he would have had to get paid in Bitcoin.
yeah, but I remember a couple years ago he asked if he could get paid in Bitcoin. So he's trying to do that anyway.
Oh, that's funny. You asked that?
What?
You got paid in Bitcoin?
No.
If you could get paid in Bitcoin?
Oh yeah. wait, no. Well, from you and from other people.
Oh, that's funny. Well, no, because if you get paid in Bitcoin and you keep it as Bitcoin, I don't think you
They
have
can't track
to
that.
pay. No. Even if they track it, because you didn't. You got paid as an investment. So if somebody
It's gonna be
paid you
too
by
hard.
giving you, like, say, a car, you have to pay taxes on the car.
They're gonna
It's a gift
yeah
or whatever,
yeah
or you got paid as something.
yeah, but
I don't know how that works actually. but-
Yeah,
So this guy Antonopoulos said it's impossible to have governments keep track of everyone because you need an individual agent for every person on the planet using their Bitcoin, keeping track of their everyday activities on their computers, on their phones. They just can't do it.
Not to mention if it's like if it's a different currency, if it's Litecoin or
yeah,
It's impossible. It's
Yeah,
impossible.
but-
They don't
yeah.
have the manpower to do it.
No, but they'll do what they do with everything else. They will go back 10 years and see what you made the last time you were paid in cash and then prorate it and tell you that you have to pay that because you're trying to circumvent paying taxes.
But how do they know that you're still employed? Like, they would have to do an audit.
Yeah, well, and then you'd have to bring 10 years and then you'll go to prison. It's just like, all right, Flavio Briatore. Have you ever heard of him? He ran Benetton. You know, Benetton closed way back in the day, and then Benetton had a Formula One team, and then Flavio is actually all right. Who's Seal married to? You know, Seal, the singer.
Yeah.
He's
no
married
idea.
to the supermodel. Oh my God, why am I drawing a blank now? Oh, all this cryptocurrency is frying my brain. Well, anyway, Flavio Briatore is a billionaire, and him and his friends had this $1 billion yacht, and all three of them owned it. And there's some kind of write-off for yacht tax where you can write off, I think it's like $3.5 million if you use it as your home. And so he has this yacht, and it's at Monaco, and him and his friends were using it for the $3.5 million write-off. And England was like, you know something? I don't think you spend enough days on that yacht in order to claim that write-off. And so they went and added up the days in the year, which is easy, and then divided by 3. And then they tracked their hotel records to see where they were. And they said, no, you did not stay on that yacht enough days in order to claim it. And now they're sending them to prison. They want to send them to prison for 10 years. And for tax evasion.
Well, can't you just pay? Usually they just make you pay the back tax.
Well, England usually lets you pay for your England and Germany let you pay for your crimes. Like, you can go to court and actually pay to get out of a crime.
That's funny.
You know-
So if you murder somebody, you could just.
No, I think most of it is like taxing and money because Bernie Ecclestone, who owned Formula One, they said that he was evading his tax that he was supposed to pay because he's based in England. And so he went into court and he was going to have to go through the whole long drawn out court procedure, and they said, or you can pay $100 million and we'll let you off. And so he pulled out his wallet. And well, first off, they said, well, this is what happened. They said, would you rather pay $100 million? And he said, can I pay today? And they said, yes. And he paid $100 million and left the court.
That's awesome.
And he might have won the case and might not have to have paid, but he would rather pay $100 million than to go through, like, they said it was going to be like maybe 40 weeks.
He should have been like, would you take 50?
but that's an aside. But my point is, these guys were using a yacht as a write-off, and the government didn't like them. England didn't like them using a yacht as a write-off. So do you really, if they can find them and track how many days they lived on the yacht, they can say, yo, Maxwell, you made $50 last year, and this year you're saying you made nothing, but your employer had a tax return on you and said that she did pay you. That's and that you wanted to be paid in Bitcoin, and so she had to file her taxes. And then you hear that knock, knock, knock on the door, and they're like, Maxwell, you're
fucked. Yeah, it's weird. It's definitely weird. So,
I want to move to Monaco so that I don't have to pay taxes.
Oh, by the way, did you hear about that Free Society project, non-country? They're buying a piece of land from governments, and they said that a lot of these governments were really enthusiastic because they're in a lot of debt. Yeah, and they put in like $100 million or $500 million, and it's gonna go. So
that's cool.
There's gonna be a non-country Free Society.
What's it called?
I think it's Free Society. FreeSociety.com.
But Free Society is they're gonna charge you until they make up the money that they paid the country.
So this place has no taxes.
Not yet.
I'm sure. No, they'll never have tax unless you can't.
Wait, who is setting it up?
Well, supposedly they're buying it from a government.
Who's buying it?
These multimillionaires.
So the multimillionaires are going to donate their money to buy this country so that people can come mooch off of them. They're
mooch off.
It's going to be
It's going to be a. What do you mean? It's going to be a free society where there's no country, there's no.
But I'm saying, the guys who are buying the land from the countries, are they ever going to recoup their money? They're just doing it for altruistic purposes. They're gonna build a society where they can build businesses in, they can live in there, and they can. So they're gonna build businesses so that they can make their money back.
Well,
not necessarily. I don't know about making it back, but just to make money in general, and then they don't have to worry about taxes or all that.
That's not bad. Look, you know how many people are gonna move there? Move their companies, move their headquarters there.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be taxed within that country, but I don't know how they're gonna do
if you're a citizen,
export taxes. But there's gonna be certain rules I can see happening because like if you come in, you can sell hold on. You can sell drugs within the society. Not that anyone would buy because everyone but you're free to do that within the society, but you can't export it because probably it's gonna be within the agreement with the government that you bought it from.
Now, if countries don't like corporate inversion, do you think that they're really going to say, "Oh, you can take your company and leave and go to freenation.com"?
What are they going to do about it? What are they going to do about it? Well, you'd have to denounce your citizenship in order to not have to pay.
Oh yeah, to become taxes. Like an expat anyway, like when they do the corporate inversion.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these companies will want to move there and try to build that society. If it's costing
them like tens or hundreds of millions of dollars, it might be worth it to renounce their citizenship.
Well, yeah,
you know what's funny? If you're not this guy Roger Ver, he's like one of the co-founders and Bitcoin multimillionaire. He said that I think everyone should support it, even statists, even people who like the government, because you can point and say, if it doesn't work, then look at these crazy libertarians. They think they can live on their own.
Here's the problem: it's the same as with corporate inversion.
So you should support it.
If you go and leave and you do the corporate inversion, but you still have a factory in that country, then that country gets that factory and they tax that factory in order to make up for you changing your base of operations. You know, that's
What
what
if you
happens
sell
now.
it before you go?
Well, I mean, you'd have to get rid of, you know, all of your factories, but then you lay off all the people, and then the country's mad because now you've laid off all the people, and then they boycott the product.
But if you invite them to the new country where they don't have to get taxes taken out of their paycheck, there it's an instant raise.
Every time one of the American companies tries to go to like Mexico, and then there's a big boycott, and they see all the billions that they're going to lose from the boycott, they immediately try to come back. So I mean, like, you'd have to take everything with you. Then they wouldn't let you import.
Well, it depends
to the
on what
United
kind of
States.
company it is. If you have like some kind of online tech company, where it's only online stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like that's a no-brainer.
You know, it's hard to take anybody's money from them because they're gonna try to get their money back somehow. You know, it's rough.
So where do you see the future of Bitcoin, Maxwell?
Well, Bitcoin's having a lot of trouble as far as like, because I don't know how it's working, but there are people who kind of like program the Bitcoin, and supposedly they increase the transaction fees, the confirmation time, so it takes like 7 days to get confirmation times. So that's how Bitcoin Cash came about, and a lot of people like Roger Ver, who's they believe that Bitcoin Cash is the real Bitcoin, the way Satoshi imagined it to be. So
The founder.
The
supposed founder.
But you told me to sell everything I own and invest it all in Bitcoin, and now you're telling me that there's trouble.
Well,
hold on.
over time,
When
like
Bitcoin-
I figured this out. Like
Maxwell, clear me up on this because I don't know that much about Bitcoin Cash. If you had a certain amount of Bitcoin, when Bitcoin forked into Bitcoin Cash, you keep your Bitcoin and you get Bitcoin Cash?
Yeah. Supposedly,
so if you had done that,
if you had done that before the fork.
Yes. So you'd
But I
you wouldn't lose anything. You just
yeah.
have additional cash as well.
Okay, but all the shit that I want to buy, I can't buy with Bitcoin right now. So
You can
do
buy
I
it
just
online.
wait? Do I just wait?
Well, what do you want to buy?
Right now you can
I think
go to
Lamborghini's
you can get
accepting Bitcoin now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I have to buy.
some dealerships.
I have to buy stuff that's smaller than that right
You
now.
don't need to buy a Lamborghini?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
I need to.
But if you did, you could pay in Bitcoin.
Right now,
To answer your question
right
from
now,
before.
I can't buy the Lamborghini because Mac had me sell everything and buy Bitcoin. Oh, so now I can buy the Lamborghini with the Bitcoin,
Yes,
but I can't
exactly,
eat. But now I can't. But now I
exactly.
can't eat.
Well, you were asking before where can you use it? So
Yeah, but
Lamborghini will accept Bitcoin.
Okay, so let me just run this by you. So I take all my Bitcoin and I buy Lamborghini, and I get say, so it has to be a new one. It probably
Or from a dealer.
All right,
Lamborghini
from a dealer. So if I got like a Huracan or something, and so I go to the gas station, and all I have is Bitcoin because I sold everything. I can't put gas in it because the gas station doesn't take my Bitcoin. Now what do I do?
No idea. You got to buy your gas online through a company that accepts Bitcoin.
And have it shipped here? Have you ever tried to have gasoline shipped?
No.
Oh boy.
You'd have to get a special shipper. Insured and, if they got those like chemical trucks on the road transporting flammable toxic chemicals, I'm sure you can get gas delivered.
You did know that we're talking about shipping gasoline, that they found out how Hitler escaped Germany and got down to Argentina because he had an airplane and their seaplanes were being refueled by U-boats when they flew from, because they left Germany, went down to Italy, and then they got into a seaplane and they couldn't figure out how the seaplane could get all the way to Argentina because it's too long of a flight, but they were being refueled by U-boats in the ocean, and that's how they were able to cover such a big distance.
You should have Bitcoin.
No, they did. They took everybody else's coin, so they were traveling for free. All right, let me ask you a question. Hold on. Why not just move to Monaco and then you don't have to pay taxes anyway? Because that's my goal.
What are you going to do in Monaco?
Anything I would do here, like look at pretty girls and save up for the Lamborghini that I can't put gas in. What?
You get a job.
Well, yeah, but I don't have to worry because whatever they pay me with, I don't have to pay taxes on it. And isn't it being opposed to paying taxes that's the problem?
So Monaco doesn't have income or property tax or sales tax?
They don't have any tax because they make so much money from their casinos that they don't have to raise any money for the government with taxes.
Are you going to work at the casino and make money?
I work anywhere. Like, because you can work there, claim that as your home address, and then work elsewhere and not have to pay,
Well, people do that with Puerto Rico. Like, if you have a company and you're based in Puerto Rico, you only have to pay their local tax, which is like 2%, and that's it. You don't have to pay federal.
Oh, Monaco, you don't have to pay any taxes. So
yeah.
Plus, it's nice. The pretty people live in Monaco.
Well, so you want to renounce your U.S. citizenship?
If I could live in Monaco, hell's the fuck
Because
yeah.
with Puerto Rico, you don't have to, and you only pay 2% tax.
Yeah, I know, but have you seen Puerto Rico lately? I don't even think they have electricity.
No,
I'm serious. I'm serious because the tsunami shit that blew through knocked out all of their electricity. I don't think they have any electricity right now.
All right, so Maxwell, what do you think Bitcoin's gonna hit? You think it's gonna hit 500 grand, like some people predict?
It's hard to tell, but I think, a lot of people are saying that it might break through 50 grand within 6 months.
6 months.
These are, I'm new to investing, so like
it's
this
at 8
is
now.
It's at $8,000.
And it hit 20-ish.
It hit 20
in
like
December.
last month, and then I'm learning about this technical
Is
analysis. I don't.
Is 8 the lowest that it's been since it hit 20, or is
Yes.
8 where it went?
It might have hit
the
7.9
lowest
or
I saw was 6,100.
61.
wow.
But it only happened for
You
a
guys
day.
are making me nervous. You're making
Only
me
happened for a day.
Because
Yeah,
I
but-
remember the lowest day when I was checking it was like 7, 8.
Oh, but wait, you mine Bitcoin, so you have to let these people know that like you're intimately invested, like because you have a mining machine.
I have a lot of different investments.
Yeah, but you're mining. Like, do you have little miners? Like, did they come through with make believe pickaxes?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just so weird because it's like
Well, with mining, here's the thing with mining. Basically, your cost of entry is the mining machine and the electricity. So once you make it back, you're all in the plus. So you didn't use any U.S. currency to actually, well, especially if you sell the machine when you're done, or even if you don't sell it.
Yeah.
If you come out ahead, then you switch back to U.S., you're ahead whatever you made. So if the price of Bitcoin goes down, it just takes you longer to make your money. And of course, the difficulty in mining. And for people that don't know about mining, basically it's just the transactions and creating more Bitcoin. So, and the more you mine, the more the difficulty increases, and the more people that mine, the more the difficulty increases.
I wish they would send you like a reasonable facsimile thereof, like fake Bitcoin coins that you could have in a safe at home and just use them as like not spend them just so that you know, so that like because like if I want to sit around counting out my money and like having stacks on stacks on stacks,
the value changes dramatically. So your Bitcoin could be worth $8 grand 1 minute and $7 grand.
oh no I know, but like the equivalent thereof. So like if I have 10,000 Bitcoin. Like, I want 10,000 little pieces of shit that I can put in stacks when I'm playing. Like, stack 1, stack 2, stack 3. And then
So that's your major issue with Bitcoin, is that it's digital.
Well, it just seems so virtual realistic that it's hard for me. All right. My biggest problem is that I can't buy the shit right now that I want to buy.
Unless you wanted to buy a Lambo.
Like, if I want, when I'm going to have to go to Walmart, and I'm going to have to buy some shit at Walmart. And Walmart, the last time I was there, none of the cashiers knew what Bitcoin was.
You asked?
Yeah, and I'm not saying that they hire down, but I'm just saying that the people they hire don't know anything about Bitcoin.
Okay, so let's say in a month or two they add a Bitcoin option where you can just plug in your Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, but that would be absolutely fabulous.
Yeah.
Like if you get to the self checkout and you can go, because after you get done, it says pick your means of payment.
Yes.
If you could click Bitcoin, I would be a lot closer because right now I don't like. I need.
Max, what do you think it's
I
going
need
there?
my shit.
You think Walmart's going to start accepting Bitcoin like all the major retailers?
Yes, Bitcoin Cash. More right. Well,
How
yeah,
soon?
more
How soon?
Bitcoin
How
Cash.
If you say
I don't
5
think-
years,
Within 5 years.
oh no, that's terrible. Within 5 years,
Maybe within 5 months.
I could be dead in 5 years. Like I'm gonna be dead in 5 years.
I think Amazon either said they might, or put a date on it or something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be.
It was
dead
some
in 5
news with
years.
Amazon.
Like it needs. I need to be able to spend my money. That's the thing. Okay, that's all. Like I'm gonna be a tad hesitant until I can spend it. That's all.
I think I'll send you a small
some
amount
people-
of Bitcoin Cash, and then I'll send you stores that accept Bitcoin
Do you know how much
Cash.
that is? Oh my god!
And
a lot of
then you
people-
yeah, but
okay.
the best way to experience seriously
I don't want to experience.
cryptocurrencies
I don't
is to
care.
actually
Forget.
I have. I've used PayPal.
Cryptocurrencies.
I've used
and-
PayPal.
All right,
Yeah,
forget-
exactly like that.
Forget payments. If you had, let's say just for the hell of it as an investment, you bought a ton of Bitcoin at $20 a Bitcoin. Where are you now? So if Bitcoin's going to hit 500 grand, I know Maxwell wants to use it for the functionality and the anarchism statement, but some people do it just for purely investment, or both use an investment, so that in a couple years if it's worth 50 grand.
Okay,
100
okay,
grand,
okay. When I go
Exactly.
but when I go to the casino, even the casino values me having to have something in my hand, and they give me a bunch of pretty fucking chips.
No, I think. Yeah, but I think the casinos will probably start accepting Bitcoin soon.
Oh no, I'm sure they might because they're
They just
dealing
want
with
money.
worldwide population, and they're not gonna deny themselves a means of payment. But I'm just saying, like, you go to the casino to make money and you're treating it as a short-term investment, they give you nice chips. So when you're winning and you're up, you have more chips on your shit.
Yeah.
And then when you're down, you have less chips on your shit. And then when you go to cash out, you cash the fuck out. Like, that's what I want for Bitcoin. You know, like if I go to Walmart and they're like,
Yeah, I
no,
don't
you
think
can't
that's gonna-
spend.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Then see, so I'm
But
gonna have
it's
to
on
wait.
your phone and your wallet, so if they have the self checkout with the Bitcoin accepting,
Do you
you're
know?
almost there, right?
I'm on. I have that 7-Eleven members scan card that you can load onto your phone, and then when you go to 7-Eleven, you hold up your phone, and they scan your phone, and then at the end of the week, you get a free Big Gulp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still take out my card, and they scan the card because I've been too lazy to put it on my phone, so it's not helping me.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
All right, Maxwell, any final words on the Bitcoin craze? And if a crash is coming?
Just buy some Bitcoin Cash, and try
save
to try to transact with it,
I do all the time.
just do a little bit. You don't have to.
I've gone to 20 stores and they've all turned me down.
Oh my god.
You want me to name them? And then
maybe
you
it's a little too early.
you guys are all right. You guys who are watching, you can try these stores too and tell me when they use it. 7-Eleven doesn't take it.
All right.
Walmart
In
doesn't
a
take it.
follow-up episode with Bitcoin, we'll go into more of cloud mining and some of the scams in Bitcoin, and we'll have a special guest on there.
You guys are scaring me even worse. You're scaring me even worse.
Oh, yeah, there's a
There's
lot of
scams
scams.
whenever something gets popular.
And there's
always
hackers that
scams.
steal Bitcoin.
Oh my god.
Oh,
They
That's
yeah.
steal Bitcoin in
Do
transit.
you know that right now I have a 200-pound floor safe that's bolted to the floor, and my cash is in the floor safe, and it has a tumbler, and I spin it.
What's your address again?
You can't. You're not gonna be able to lift it, and I'll shoot you before you get it out of the house. But you know, so how I'm not gonna be okay with any of this because I can't hold it in my hand. That's just me. I need to buy shit at 7-Eleven and Walmart like now. I understand that you guys want an investment for the future, which is very smart unless you get hacked and then all your Bitcoin goes away.
Well, you can only get hacked when it's in transit. When it's in your wallet, it's secure.
Are you sure?
So, like the websites that were paying out in
Yeah.
Bitcoin, those are the ones that got hacked before the people got the Bitcoin. I don't know of anybody getting their. That's the whole point of Bitcoin is that it's secure.
Yeah.
So if somebody stole Bitcoin, it would be in the ledger, and
That-
everybody would know about it.
And it would still
they
be
wouldn't-
yours because the numbers would
Right,
be yours.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now is Bitcoin? I just have to ask some follow up questions. When people hack like a hospital and they say, we're going to turn off all your power unless you pay us $50 billion,
Yeah.
and then the hospital has to pay in Bitcoin. Is that what those transactions were when they hold
I don't
hospitals
know.
for
I don't
ransom?
know.
Because I think that was Bitcoin, wasn't it?
I didn't hear about that.
Because
I
they
don't know.
would hack a hospital and say we're going to turn off your electricity unless you give us X amount of money in Bitcoin. And then the hospital has to go buy Bitcoin and pay them in Bitcoin because they can't trace it, and then they can't catch those hackers because once they get the Bitcoin, it's gone. Well, isn't that what that
Possibly,
was? Isn't
possibly.
that
I don't know. I didn't hear about that.
because it's kind of ingenious because there's no money transfer to follow because once they get the Bitcoin, they got the Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Some devious shit. All right, just checking.
There was also some like dark web guy. I think they were all paying in Bitcoin. Like people were hiring hitmen and stuff.
Oh shit.
Everybody gets paid in Bitcoin and
Yeah.
drugs, and nobody. And
That's
that's
crazy.
a lot of people that criticize Bitcoin are saying that. But
Yeah,
then
but
again,
they do that. They do that with cash
exactly,
American
in a
dollars.
dark
Like
alley,
it's
in a
just
dark
stupid.
alley with
Yeah,
a briefcase.
yeah.
So I
But
mean,
yeah-
it doesn't really
Yeah,
matter.
but I've heard them holding a lot of things for ransom, and I think they ask for Bitcoin because they don't get caught because it's always an off-site. So like they will hack something and threaten to turn off the power, or they'll hack it and threaten to open the computer up to everybody. And so it's like give us the Bitcoin in an hour, or we release all of your emails and like, oh sure, here's the Bitcoin, or we'll turn off all your electricity, and then all your people on hooked up to
yeah, that's messed
the
up.
machines will die, and they're like, oh, here's your Bitcoin. I think it was Bitcoin because
Probably was.
yeah, that's some ingenious shit.
All right. Take care, guys. We'll
All
see you
right.
next time.
Brooke Davis here saying goodbye.
Maxwell Powers.
And this has been Bruce McGuire for our MindShock podcast.